What were we thinking?
What are we taking?
Okay. What are we doing? Take two. And hello and welcome, everyone.
Yeah, so we're back with Rachel.
We're back.
We're back with Rachel, which is Nadia's friend. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of footage there. And I'll just sort of put that in there. And I'm sorry, Rachel, you're a trooper.
He's gonna.
I'm not sorry that you're a trooper.
We were just rambling anyway.
No, it's okay. You were talking about rainbow and how I'm not a hippie, and we had some good banter in there. We did.
We had some good banter.
We had some good thing. But the long and short of it is that Rachel is friends with Nadia, and she has some questions.
Friend.
And she has some questions for us. Very.
I have questions
community.
for you.
Well, yeah, she has questions for us.
She's also a massage therapist.
She's a massage therapist, very community-oriented person.
She's also a teacher of massage therapy.
Yeah.
She's a mother.
She's a
She's
warrior.
my friend.
A leopard heart with,
You got it.
Leopard heart.
Yes. That's what I was going off.
Leopard heart.
Lion heart.
With the speed of a cheetah.
Sing your heart song.
I'm very visual, Rachel.
Thank you.
We were talking about just during the break was how do you find your passion?
Oh.
I think it's right behind you.
Yeah, I know. I was. Are you asking me that question?
No, but
yes.
Was I looking at you?
Yeah,
Did I have a lazy eye? It went like left.
Well, yeah, you were looking at the,
Nadia and I want to know.
Where do I find my passion?
Yes, I think you would have some good insight.
I think that's I don't know. I think you might be using the wrong words. I mean.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
No, we're using the wrong words.
I promise to answer your question, but where do you find your passion?
Mine.
Yeah.
Not
Can you
where,
answer
like,
the question? Can you give me an
how?
example answer to your question so that I can
not really
understand what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
Really.
That was. Thank you, Andrew. For brutalizing that. It was kind of like a summary.
It's hard. Those words. It's hard to ask the right question because it's a very complex idea.
Well, exactly. I want to answer your question correctly.
Right. So let's let Rachel.
Well, the idea is just kind of the journey. Like, what has the journey been like, and how have you been consciously a part of that, which growing up helps you find the things you really enjoy and how you kind of make that the main part of your life and the thing that drives you and maybe even provides for you and all of that. And that it feels good, Maybe you have a full-time job still, but you have this thing that, gives you joy and whatever.
Sure.
And the journey to finding that. Because I think, especially for younger people, you feel kind of like, how does that happen for people?
For me, I've never had a choice. That's how I always felt. Like I was just always going to be doing this.
Doing what?
Like art.
Just creating.
I had and that's just what happens. That's what comes from me. And there were times that I might have turned it off, but that didn't last long, and I sort of knew that it was just sort of faking it. So that's really what it was, and that's what's dictated it. It's as simple as that.
But you always knew what it was.
Okay, maybe he wasn't a good person for the question.
It's great.
No, because it is great. But he's one of those who knew what he wanted to be when he grew up.
Right, but that gives the relativity of it, right? Because
it gives some perspective on something.
It gives the perspective of that, yeah.
Sure, but you waver back and forth. It's not like I always wanted to be some sort of artist or something even creative.
Right, and right now it would be more like, how did you get to the point where you are, making a podcast or, like...
Well, that's kind of...
Have 8 murals on Cherry Street.
Right, exactly. You just were doing it.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, you look back and you can connect all of those dots in some sort of tedious way. I would say it's probably mostly just dedication and knowing what you want and what you want to do. You know, and that goes with anything.
And you're lucky you sort of had that vision already.
And determination. Mm-hmm. Some people do that based on ego. And I've seen that a lot in music stuff because there's there's no reward anymore, but there used to be some reward where, you know, if you were, you know, a big rock star, you get the world handed to you. And it's sort of bratty, you know. And I think artists might be a little bit more realistic because they have much smaller audiences and everything. Ego still works and lives very well in those worlds and everything, but I think you'll live longer if you don't base it on just that.
Yeah.
If you give it back somehow.
I'm just going to jump back to the whole, how do you find what you're doing in life, you know, and enjoying it? Like, from my experience, things have kind of just come to me. And it's really strange. Like, I don't know if I'm like a witchy person. Like, I feel like I'm kind of a witchy person where it's like, things, and you do, like Andrew said, I concur with him, where he said you kind of do have to know what you want. Because if you don't, then you're just kind of lost.
Sure.
But if you have an idea of what you want, I just kind of, it's just, in my experience, the universe kind of gives it to you in a weird way. Like, it will happen. Like, you'll get some sort of opportunity. You have to take it.
I think
you have to make those choices and you have to do that. Yeah. But, like, you will get those opportunities if you know what you want your way.
And I think it's from you and I, like, being younger and like,
you know that too, I think.
Tucked away and learning how to do something and getting
sure you do.
And getting good at something. It takes a long time to do that. It takes a good taste to do that really, really well too. You can take a long time to do something and still be shit at it.
True, yeah.
So,
I could list a lot of those.
There's taste in there.
Yeah.
That's a little sliver, I think, that gets you just that much higher. But
yeah.
Once you develop a formula for that, you sort of get it for everything. It's just like, oh, I have to work really hard at it. If I want to learn how to make a house, I have to learn how to do that, and it takes a long time to do that.
Yeah,
Once
I think that's.
I got it. You know.
I think that's a
it
good
sucks when
point
you do that and then you go, oh, I didn't really like that much. Yeah, find something else to do. That's like his
oboe.
Nephews. They're at this age, where it's like, well, you got to figure out what you like to do, you know. And then that's kind of what I tell them. He tries baseball, he tries karate, he's trying all these different things. It's like trying to figure out, well, what do you enjoy?
Yeah.
What do you like to do?
He's 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right, he's 9. It's
and it seems weird because
and your parents are just throwing
kids,
you into these things, kind of.
Yeah.
Right?
And you think younger kids are supposed to be more natural at that.
Right. Knowing.
Yeah, just like
they don't know.
Enjoying stuff. But but I don't think that's actually.
I mean, I was in sports as a kid too, but I never had any like dreams that I was going to be any sort of
and
athlete.
You could also like
but I knew the art thing was there.
Yeah.
I always knew that was there.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't say.
I think going back to the working really hard on it, I think that's the one thing, at least for me, that really clicked. Once you see how much can happen in a period of time, it gives you this like drive of like, oh, wow, okay, if I actually work hard at something, like you said, for X amount of period of time, I can actually be really good at this thing. So what is it that I want to be good at? Like, what is it that I want to put my time and energy into? And yeah, because I think before that, I wasn't willing to even try. It was just like, oh, I'm not good at that, not good at that, not realizing that maybe had I, actually just put more time and energy into something that it would have come around.
But still even that sort of flighty kind of thing led to you eventually figuring this out.
Yes.
So, okay.
It just wasn't the right thing. The right time.
I think you're just looking back and you're like, I was so immature. I'm so embarrassed about that. It's like, but no, it led to this point. So just, okay, it took this long.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
No,
so
totally.
I hate to always reference The Simpsons.
I think you should.
But,
just for the sake of the podcast and our marriage.
Sure.
Those two things.
But, like, I love how Homer has, like, he's always doing different things. Like, he's an astronaut. He goes to space. And, like, all of a sudden he's working at some other weird... I don't even know what that plant was. But it was, like, it's some evil...
Power plant?
Was it some other power
where
he was like an evil CIA?
With
it was
Hank
like
Scorpio.
a James Bond. Yeah, Hank Scorpio.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's got all of these different. Another example.
He's like a sailor or something.
Another example would be Bert from Mary Poppins. He had a different job every time you saw him.
Bert,
and that's who I wanted to be growing up.
Oh yeah.
I even asked my mom, like, what's his job? I want to do that. He was drawing on the sidewalk. He was doing music one day. And he was sweeping chimneys, the next day.
Totally.
And everything. Seemed to enjoy himself. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up. Seriously.
I never, there's these people, they're like, I've been doing this job for 35 years, 40 years. And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know if I could, what could I do for that long?
I know.
I would want to kind of switch it up in a way, too.
I get bored of a job after like 2-3 years. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you get bored.
What can I do next?
I know, yeah.
But it's interesting, like massage therapy was always like in the back of my mind. Like I didn't even know it was a potential career. And then like I had met a few people that were doing it, and it just kind of became a thing that swam around in my head. And when I was living in Philadelphia, I went and looked at the school there, but it was like expensive and you couldn't get any financial aid. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And then when I moved to New York, I went to pursue music. That was like my initial thing. And then that like wasn't really, I don't know, just, I loved doing it. Like it was so much fun making it, but I wasn't going to pursue music like professionally.
It's a lot.
It's like not gonna happen.
So I was like to school for
unless
music.
you're making jingles.
No, I didn't. I was just, my goal was to be in New York and to be making enough money, like working a restaurant gig, to just have plenty of time and money to like make music.
Classic.
And be in New York, you know. And
she's
I
a
did
dreamer.
Those things.
We'll have to look at the.
I did do those things.
I love this. I love this story. It's great.
Yeah, so
I
did
very
that.
Very good in black and white. But continue.
Great. I did that, but I don't know, like massage just sort of came back into my mind, and I went and looked at a school there, and they had financial aid available, so it would just like be paid for by grants and loans, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And
awesome.
I worked so hard at it. Like I just worked and like went to school, and college and school was always supposed to be a really difficult thing for me, and so I knew if I wanted to do it well, I had to work freaking hard at it. So I did. I worked my butt off.
How old were you?
24 when I started. It was a 2-year program. So for 2 years straight through, I worked really hard, and I bartended and did all of that on the side. And when I was done with school, like top of my class, I could barely give a massage, and it was really embarrassing because the school just like wasn't great at that part. It was like I had great anatomy teachers and great myology and neurology and all of these subjects that I worked really hard at. But the massage part was kind of like all over the place, and I don't know, just they didn't do a good job. So I went and applied at a bunch of different places, didn't get any jobs. Finally got hired at this place in Manhattan where the woman was like, I will teach you. And she like helped me get started, and I just started working on people, like 14, 15 people a week, and made decent money and all of that. And long story short, I came back to Reading, Pennsylvania, and started putting out applications for massage therapy, and got hired like, well, it was interesting because I was studying for my test here, and I was like, man, I just want to go back to school. Like I loved school so much. Like I loved learning, and it was so inspiring to me. And the next day I got a call from the place that I work now. I'm not going to talk about it in name or whatever, but it's a medical massage school. No names. It's a medical massage school. And he was like, I got your application to be a teacher. And I didn't even remember like putting this application in. Like I was just like applying for things on Indeed, and he was like, okay, come in. And I was like, man, I was literally just thinking about how I would have changed everything about my experience because it wasn't what I wanted, and like brainstorming how I would want to make other people's experiences better because I think massage is so cool. In doing so, I got to teach anatomy and physiology, which had I not worked as hard as I did, initially, I would never have been able to do that.
Yeah.
And turns out like my real passion, which ties back to everything we've been talking about and rainbow and all of that and community, is that I love anatomy and physiology and biology, which is like the study of how all this works and how everything connects, right? Because that's like atoms and electrons and protons, you know, it's like that's the beginning of it all, and I love it so much.
So you want to create a more expedited or just better massage therapy schooling?
Well, that's what I've been working on. That's what you've been past 2 years,
yeah.
2.5 years.
I feel that should be pretty much with any schooling.
Yeah.
A lot of things need to be overhauled.
Oh, for sure.
Especially art, art film. I walked out of film school being like, there's a lot of things I don't know.
Oh, totally.
A ton of things I don't know. I learned everything on set. Everything.
But I think that is kind of how it works. Like, I don't think any massage school, like, you leave going, wow, I really know how to give a good massage, because you learn it doing it. Like, that's just what it is.
That's just like with painting. Like, painting a straight line. You just do it. You just feel it. And that's all you can do. That's all you can teach somebody, even. It's just like, you just got to feel it. And,
this goes back to my idea for a sketch.
Oh, yeah. What's your idea for the sketch?
Yes. Okay, so my idea for the sketch, and this is going to be really, like, empty of an idea, so you'd have to help fill in the blanks, but it's basically like me or whoever, but I guess it would be me because it's my idea.
It's got to be you, girl.
Yeah. Exactly.
A woman, 30s-ish, yes.
Teaching a massage class, like a Thai massage class, to the public, which is kind of common. Like, you have people coming for Valentine's Day, want to learn how to massage each other, and you like teach this class, right? And so you
Let's do it. Okay.
But this was inspired from a real class that I taught, where I was like trying to explain like the energy and emotion that you need to do for this, of being similar to being like a cat. And so like basically the whole rest of the night, I just keep telling these people about how like be more cat-like, and like getting them to meow and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, you have like people who are like supposed to be there for this like class with their partners, and all of a sudden the teacher starts out kind of really
this
like
is better
normal.
Than the movie How.
You know, she seems normal at first, but then the longer the class goes on, she like by the end of the class, she's got like cat ears, like full on cat costume.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
She's
there you go. See, with the heart of the cat, maybe she like starts laying on people and like playing with yarn. Okay, get the yarn out. You know?
Exactly.
That just do anything a cat would do.
Yeah, and making them do it, and they're like really resistant, but then they're like, because she's like, really, come on.
Yeah.
Let me hear you meow.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
that
it.
sounds like something that would happen.
For sure.
You know, it's how like,
and before you know it, there's like kittens
else.
all over the room. That would be really cool. Oh my God. Can we get kittens? That would be my day.
Awesome.
My favorite memories
Somebody has to pour
kittens.
water on her or something like that.
Yeah, like to get her done. To like stop her. Yeah.
We have to have fun random stuff like that, though.
Yeah, we could make that. That's really doable. We could make that.
Yeah, that's an easy
We could write that.
You write it. It's your...
I get to write it. I
get
the nugget.
Itself.
Yeah.
It's a story by Rachel Pletz, written by Andrew Pochan.
Sure.
Okay, that's the way it
the
would go.
ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Well, that's
story
kind of
by
how
you
our
came up with the idea.
Right,
Our neighbor Joey thing was like conceptually my idea, I guess. It was
together, but yes, it was.
I know he's gonna. Well, we did it
yeah.
together, but no. I mean,
you didn't make him a dick like I did, though.
No, but he wrote it. Like I had this whole idea of like this Joey, you know.
Yeah, he talks like this.
And Joey, and then I think I did come up with the whole we should do the Halloween thing, and so that was my idea. It was this Halloween thing, make fun of the kids, and then he wrote the jokes. That's how it's going down.
That's
for
fine.
the record.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to contest anything.
Okay, I like it. But anyway.
I got him trained.
We bounce ideas off each other all the time, but you know that was cool. That was my directorial debut. But like that was one of those things where it's like these ideas that then you throw it to him and he writes something up. He wrote up a skit. That's totally you. The couch. You know, and I bounced some ideas off of him, but he has this couch.
A sketch. It takes place in a pack of silica gel.
Yeah.
It's very dry humor.
My son ate a pack of that once, and I lost my mind.
And it gets eaten by a child. That's what happens at the end. We get eaten by a child, and it says "do not." The whole set says "do not eat."
I love this.
Do not eat this set is basically please don't, and it gets fucking eaten.
Yeah, well, he did. He ate it.
Yeah, and the couch idea.
I was sticking my fingers down his throat because I had no idea.
I love though it says "do not eat" on it.
Yeah, well, he was alone with them, sort of.
Yeah, Can't he read?
Well, no, I know.
Duh.
Yeah. But they actually, I saw something where it's like, oh, save them because they're like good for stuff like survival shit. I don't even know, but you can't eat them.
It was in the bottom of one of those seaweed packs.
Yes.
And like, I don't know, like I think there might have been like 2 in this one because I usually grab it out and hand it to him. We were like on a road trip or whatever and he was eating them. And like at one point I just looked back and he's like, got them. This like
it don't
get him out of your mouth. Like fingers down his throat. Like, oh my god, it was so scary. I was in the middle of the woods too, so I couldn't like look up if this was like really a big deal or not.
Right. Yeah.
Turns out it really wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't
that big of a deal, but.
Yeah. There's another skit right there.
My mother's good to my mother.
The thing about the skit that I think is fun, and the reason I think this is fun too, is like, and also important to say, is like it doesn't have to be good. Like
no,
it doesn't have to be good. It's just
with
fun.
Our neighbor Joey thing. It's really not. But what makes it funny is like you have silhouettes of people that are clearly adults, and then they run away, and it's like
right, yeah. And it's just fun to do it.
Yeah,
like, just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
That is exactly
that's
that is the name
thing.
of this. Every podcast gets a title. That's it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it because like.
So that's what we'll do.
Something will lead to the next thing.
Do you want to act in it?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Let's just do it.
Just do it.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
That's part of the. Well, and then
the
we
Nike
cut here. No, but that was part of our thing with making these videos. It's like forcing us to be creative. It's like forcing us to. Mm-hmm. We should capture this, or tape this beautiful scene right here, or.
Well, how many times have you sat and been like, oh man, I wish I could get something of this, you know? Mm-hmm. So we're kind of like trying to get bits of that.
We gotta have an idea. What can we could come up with? Let's do a story. Let's make up a story for next month, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Or make music next month.
And you know, half of it could be bad, but we're just doing it.
Well, and that's the thing is like even if like barely anybody watches it, the joy is from the doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, you want people to appreciate the things you do, for sure. It's like that external validation is great.
Yeah. It's the refrigerator.
It's the journey. It's the like, you know, just being out in the library and laughing and taking takes and learning stuff, you know, that feels good while you're in the middle of it.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
We're going to do it.
And what's going to be interesting is, and this is a good sort of ending. Yeah. What's interesting is that, okay, this skit was conceived here.
Yes.
It's going to get born one of these days.
Right.
You know? Might be 9 months, might be 9 weeks, might be 9 days. Who knows? We'll see. We might see it in the video.
We probably will.
We probably will in the next couple months, which will be very interesting.
That was like my idea.
That's what's really cool about
Well, yeah, my idea for the Joey thing was like, I said to him, I'm like, we're not gonna get this done by Halloween, to get it out by Halloween. And he's like, yes, we will. We can do it. He's like, Monday night, let's do it. Mm-hmm. And we just did it. Yeah. We just tried,
you just have to schedule it.
Some people together.
That's the discipline thing they said.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you want it, know what you want, know how to do it, know who you're going to involve, know their time frame and what they're comfortable with, so you don't piss them off, and then you're done.
Totally.
There you go. There's the formula. You have to wait till the end to see it. Or fast forward to the end.
There you have it.
But thank you, Rachel.
Perfect timing, yeah.